Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Dimas Raka Rifkyansyah, and today I'm going to present an article entitled Utilizing Electronic Reading Device Kindle in English as Foreign Language Reading Class, written by Min Hun Chang from Tsinghua University, Taiwan. And this presentation will answer several questions for my examination. Okay, so for the first question, what is the research objective of the study? And the answer can be found in the introduction section and is also summarized in the abstract. The objective of the study was to investigate whether there were any differences in reading comprehension and reading motivation between students who used Kindle and students who used printed books in as English as a foreign language reading class. The researcher also wanted to explore how students perceived the use of Kindle in their reading classes. Next question is, what is the design of the study? The answer can be found in the research method section under the design. The study used a mixed method research design. The researcher collected both qualitative and quantitative data. The participants were 26 English major freshmen from a university in central Taiwan. They were randomly divided into two groups. For the first is the experimental group using Kindle, and the next one is the control group used printed books. Both groups read the same novels during one semester. The next question is, how were the data collected? The answers can be found in the research method section under data collection and analysis. The researchers collected the data using three instruments. The first is the English Reading Comprehension Test, or ERCT, which is used to measure students' reading comprehension. The second one is the Reading Motivation Questionnaire, or RMQ, which is used to measure students' reading motivation. And finally, the researchers collected qualitative data through an open-ended survey and interviews to understand student opinions and experience with Kindles. For the following questions, how were the data analyzed? The answers is also found in the data collection and analysis section. The quantitative data were analyzed using SPSS 13.0. The researcher used independent sample t-tests to compare the Kindle group and the print-based group. Paired sample t-tests to compare students' pre-test and post-test scores. For the qualitative data, the responses from the surveys and interviews were coded and analyzed to identify students' perception of using Kindle. Next question, what were the findings? The answers can be found in the result and discussions section. The study found three major findings. The first is there was no significant difference in reading comprehension between the Kindle group and the print-based group, so almost the same. Second, there was no statistically significant difference in overall reading motivation between the two groups, although the Kindle group showed a small increase in motivation. And then the third is most students preferred printed books, even though they appreciated Kindle's useful features such as dictionary, portability, and ability to store many books. But the study also found that Kindle significantly increases students' aesthetic enjoyment of reading, meaning they enjoyed reading literary text more. For the following question, how are the discussions of the study? The discussion is presented throughout the result and discussion section and continues in the implications and conclusions section. The researcher explained that Kindle did not improve reading comprehension because some students relied too much on the electronic features instead of developing their own reading strategies. Regarding motivation, Kindle helped increase students' interest in reading because it offered useful tools and greater learner autonomy. However, the researcher argued that this motivation might only be caused by the novelty effect and may not last for a long time. The researcher also discussed that students still preferred printed books because they enjoyed the physical experience of reading, such as turning pages and holding a real book. For the last question, what is the conclusion of the study? The answers can be found in implications and conclusions section. The researcher concluded that using Kindle has the potential to increase student reading motivation, but it does not significantly improve reading comprehension. The study also uh, suggests that teachers should carefully consider students' needs before introducing new technology into the classroom. And finally, the researcher recommends conducting further studies to investigate the long-term effects of electronic readings devices on students' reading behavior and motivation. Yeah, and that's it. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for attention, and I hope my presentation can be useful for us. And my name is Dimas Raka. Bila saya isi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.